On that cold February afternoon in 1993, Manhattan bustled as usual. In the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center, office workers typed memos, made phone calls, and occasionally paused to admire the sweeping view of New York Harbor. Far below them, in the subterranean parking garage, a yellow Ryder van sat in silence. Its cargo was deadly, though no one suspected a thing. Even the security guards continued their routines, unaware that the ordinary-looking vehicle concealed a catastrophe. At exactly 12:17 p.m., a massive explosion tore through the basement levels, sending a violent shockwave up all 110 stories of the North Tower. Thick black smoke surged into stairwells and elevator shafts, plunging the complex into darkness. 6 people lost their lives, and more than 1,000 others were injured as they fought to escape through choking, smoke-filled corridors. The attack was a stark warning, an early indication of a new, emerging wave of terrorism. Yet in the months that followed, counterterrorism experts struggled to convince their superiors of the scale and urgency of the threat that lay ahead. For years after the 1993 bombing, the Twin Towers stood repaired and resolute, their steel frames gleaming over lower Manhattan. But beneath the surface of everyday life, intelligence warnings continued to ripple through government agencies. Analysts tracking extremist networks noticed patterns: training camps in Afghanistan, operatives moving across borders, and a growing ambition among terrorist leaders to strike the United States again, only harder. Still, the threat felt distant to many. The city moved on. Office workers returned to their routines. Tourists pressed their faces to the observation deck glass, marveling at the skyline. Morning commuters poured through the World Trade Center's subway corridors, unaware that a new plot was already in motion, far more coordinated and devastating than the one 8 years earlier. On the morning of September 11, 2001, the sky over New York was a flawless blue. At 8:46 a.m., that calm was shattered. American Airlines Flight 11, hijacked shortly after takeoff from Boston, banked sharply and crashed into the North Tower between the 93rd and 99th floors. The impact sent a fireball billowing from the building, and thick smoke trailed into the sky. Millions watched in shock, unsure whether what they were seeing was a terrible accident or something far more deliberate. The answer came 17 minutes later. At 9:03 a.m., United Airlines Flight 175 streaked over the Hudson River, descended at a steep angle, and struck the South Tower between the 77th and 85th floors. The explosion left no doubt. The nation was under attack. A wave of terror swept through lower Manhattan as people fled the streets. Sirens erupted in every direction, and emergency responders surged toward the burning towers. The Twin Towers, once symbols of modern engineering and commercial power, were now at the center of one of the darkest moments in American history. And as the world watched in disbelief, it became clear that the warnings from years before had not only been real, they had gone tragically unheeded. The man who orchestrated this attack was Osama bin Laden, the founder of the terrorist organization al-Qaeda. However, before the September 11th attacks, Osama bin Laden was considered as a hero in Afghanistan. But to understand how he became the most wanted man in the world, watch the next episode,